Hello, my name is Kora Saylor, and I am a senior at Sacramento State University. My co-presenter's name is Matt Metzger. He is a junior at Sacramento State University, and we're both English majors. In fall 2020, Matt and I took a professional writing course at Sacramento State. This course included a course-based research project that involved all the students in conducting interviews with professionals to understand how COVID-19 impacted professionals' communication. Matt and I opted to continue working on this project after the fall semester ended, and our poster presents our major findings from analyzing the interview data our class collected. In March 2020, COVID-19 impacted everyone across the globe. Telework became the new norm for professionals and students alike. The sudden shift to telework forced professionals to implement new communication strategies to remain efficient in their professions. Our class wanted to study how COVID-19 impacted professionals and their communication. We formulated two questions. How did COVID-19 impact professional communication? And how have professionals adapted their communication in the context of the disruptions caused by COVID-19? Our class interviewed 28 professionals from various industries. Once each professional was interviewed, we reconciled their transcripts, compiled the data into a database, and began analyzing each data set. The majority of our participants said that their workplace communication had changed or had changed in some ways while remaining the same in others. The use of new communication modalities was identified by 59% of the participants as the most commonly perceived change, followed by 32% of the participants identifying a different work environment as the second most commonly perceived change. We also discovered that there was no single strategy that proved most useful to the participants. There was a lack of knowledge about which strategies worked best under the constraints of the sudden shift to telework.
On our poster, we presented what we learned from our participants about the most significant changes they perceived and the top 6 strategies they mentioned as having helped them adapt their communication. In our video, we want to go into more detail than we were able to on the poster about the most common change that our participants noted, which was the use of new communication modalities. When we analyzed our results further by ranking the top 5 communication modalities that facilitated the shift to telework. When we looked more closely for the communication modalities that our participants said became more common during the pandemic, we saw that they fell into 5 groups: web conferencing, email, collaboration tools, phone calls, and learning management. Additionally, we looked at the specific modalities in each of these groups. For web conferencing, Zoom was mentioned the most often as the top web conferencing tool. For collaboration tools, Microsoft Teams was the most mentioned tool used by professionals. For learning management systems, there was only one mentioned in the interviews, and it was Canvas. The significance of our results is that some industries were able to standardize on some communication modalities in comparison to others. For web conferencing, there was more variety of applications that were used amongst professionals, which could indicate that there are a variety of competing web conferencing applications that perform similar functions that professionals or their employers deem fitting. Same thing can also be said for collaboration tools. It is important to identify what communication modalities professionals and their employers use during the COVID-19 quarantine lockdown measures, because by identifying the most common communication modalities used, upcoming professionals can be better prepared for unexpected challenges by learning what communication modalities work best. In a future study, it would be interesting to learn about how participants chose these modalities and learned to use them. It would also be interesting to see which of these modalities people continue to use after the pandemic ends and how professionals integrate them into the workplace writing in the future. Thank you.